Welcome to an all-new episode of Igraasp. Celebrate every day. Celebrate the small things and the big things. Celebrate even if there is nothing, because life's way too precious to let it pass without a cheer and a heart full of happiness. The highlights of today's news capsule are PM Narendra Modi's address at the World Economic Forum Davos 2022. Kathak maestro Pandit Birju Maharaj passes away at 83. Indonesia shifts capital from Jakarta. Scientists name new species of rain frog after Greta Thunberg. Legendary tigress Collar Valley, a mother of 29, passes away. IIT Kanpur establishes 2 new design, space science, and astronomy departments. Astronauts experience space anemia when they leave Earth. Virat Kohli steps down as Indian Test captain. Lakshya Sen wins maiden Super 500 title, beats world champion Low. And we end the capsule with our F2 segment. It is now time to begin with the national news segment.
Every year for the last 50 years, the World Economic Forum has been meeting in Davos, Switzerland to discuss globally pertinent issues. This year, Prime Minister Modi at the summit said that India is committed to One Earth, One Health by saving crores of lives during the COVID pandemic by being the 3rd largest pharma producer in the world. He also invited countries to invest in India's IT infrastructure, as there are more than 50 lakh software developers with over 10 new startups within the last 6 months. We hope that this Davos summit creates a sense of cooperation globally so that we can combat this pandemic holistically as a planet.
One of the biggest names in Kathak, Pandit Birju Maharaj, sadly passed away last week at the age of 83. He was a Padma Vibhushan awardee and a prolific painter, poet, and even singer. The President, Vice President, and Prime Minister all tweeted their condolences. We have lost a legend, and he will always be remembered for his contributions to Kathak.
Indonesia's parliament has approved shifting its capital from Jakarta due to the city rapidly sinking because of climate change. The new capital, which is called Nusantara, meaning archipelago in its indigenous language, is being built 1,300 kilometers away from Borneo. While it's good that the government has taken action in shifting its capital, it's quite sad to see the effects of climate change on a historical city like Jakarta.
A new species of rain frog has been discovered in the Panama jungle, and it has been named after the young climate activist Greta Thunberg. It was named after Greta Thunberg due to the conservation non-profit, the Rainforest Trust, holding an auction that allowed the winner to choose the name of the new species. This is a special commemoration for the young climate activist from Sweden, who has worked tirelessly to help spread awareness about the climate crisis.
Famous tigress Collar Valley, who gave birth to 29 cubs in her lifetime, has passed away at the age of 70. Collar Valley, in her lifetime, helped bring the tiger population up in Madhya Pradesh's Pench Tiger Reserve. She lived quite a long life, as the average age of a tiger is 12 years. Have you ever been to the Pench Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh? Let us know about your experience in the comment section below.
IIT Kanpur is about to set up 2 brand new departments in design and space science and astronomy. The institution will be offering these courses to both undergraduate and graduate students, with the program starting in 2023. The setting up of these two departments is really good news, as it will facilitate innovation and new research in these sectors, as well as broadening research possibilities.
A new study has shown that astronauts suffer from something called space anemia when they stay in space. On an average, the human body on Earth creates and destroys close to 2 million red blood cells every second. However, in space, it is seen that this number increases to 3 million, which results in loss of 54% more cells. This lower cell count is known as space anemia. In space, this doesn't have much of an effect on the body, but after landing on Earth, anemia could affect a person's energy, endurance, and even strength. Even after a year of returning from space, the blood cell levels of an astronaut still do not achieve the same level as that of before he or she left the planet. There is still so much we're learning about space travel, and thus must always be cautious when we're driving down the road of progress.
Virat Kohli has stepped down as the Indian team test captain after leading the side for 7 years. He has the highest win percentage of any Indian captain, winning 40 out of 68 test matches. He announced his resignation on Twitter and thanked the BCCI for giving him the opportunity to lead the team. Captain Kohli will definitely be missed, but we hope this allows him to achieve even greater heights as a player.
20-year-old Lakshya Sen has won his first Super 500 title, beating the world reigning champion Loh King Yew at the India Open last week. Sen had previously won a bronze at the World Championship. He beat Loh King Yew 24-22 to 21-17 in a fine performance. We would like to congratulate Sen and wish him all the very best in future tournaments.
The Union Health Ministry has started a postage stamp to commemorate the indigenously developed vaccine, Covaxin, after 1 year since its maiden inoculation drive. The ministry further stated that 70% of India's adults have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19, while 93% have received the first dose. If you're someone who likes collecting stamps, then you should definitely add the stamp to your collection.
The Dutch royal family has stopped using a historical golden coach due to criticisms of its colonial past. The carriage holds certain images that are offensive to some of its former colonies. The King of Netherlands, Willem Alexander, said, "Our history contains much to be proud of. At the same time, it also provides learning material for faults to recognize and to avoid in the future." The Dutch Empire at one point spanned continents, and it is good to see them reckoning with their colonial past.
With Republic Day just around the corner, we, here at Igraasp, thought let's share some facts about the tableau used for the Republic Day parade. For participation in the Republic Day festivities, states and union territories must showcase elements relevant to them under the central government's overarching theme in their tableau. The Defense Ministry constitutes a committee of experts from fields of art, music, choreography, etc. to shortlist proposals. This year's theme is 75 years of independence, and the Defense Ministry has asked participants to use eco-friendly materials for the tableau and avoid use of plastic or plastic-based products. The tableau can and usually includes different elements of electronic display walls, robots, and mechatronics, as well as sometimes even VR and AR. We hope you all wake up nice and early on the 26th and catch the parade in all its glory.
The word of the week is commute, which means to travel regularly from one place to another. I love commuting to school in the school bus. The riddle of the week is, if there are 3 apples and you take away 2, how many apples do you have? You have 2 apples.
Can you guess who? He introduced the Indian philosophies of Vedanta and Yoga to the West. He travelled extensively in India and spoke at the 1893 Parliament of the World's Religions in the US. He was a disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhansa and founded the Ramakrishna Mutt and the Ramakrishna Mission. Yes, you guessed right. He is Swami Vivekananda. Did you know that Vivekananda was not just responsible for creating awareness on Hinduism but also about yoga in the Western countries?
Did you know that the system of examinations for civil officers started in China? Imperial competitive examinations, also known as Keju, were a series of tests to select officers in charge of administration in the state. An interesting component of the examination was writing 8-legged essays or literary compositions with 8 sections, for which they were given 2 nights and 3 days. The reason why it was respected by individuals was because it selected candidates based on merit and not on basis of birth in times as old as 206 BCE.
Quiz time!
In which year was the system of imperial examinations for state bureaucracy abolished? Send your answers to contact us at igraasp.com along with your full name, school name and a photo. The answer to last week's question is Yoshizawa Randlet's system was devised by Akira Yoshizawa. It used diagrams to describe origami folds, making instructions more clear and accessible. This certificate of appreciation is presented to Yug Mishra of St. Kabir Indian International School, Vadodara, Gujarat, for successfully participating in the weekly quiz on India's leading news capsule for tweens, Igraasp.
Igraaspers, this week let's meet the SMS gang. Akriti, Aditya and Kabir started the SMS gang known as the Super Mystery Solvers to unearth the mysteries that even police and authorities of Solan are unable to solve. These young detectives are determined to uncover the mystery of the unexpected fire that occurred in their school lab, and they are willing to go to any length to maintain their school's reputation before the annual school inspection. Will they succeed? To know more, read this book and share your views with us at igraasp.com/iClub.
Once you start celebrating the little victories in life, you will realize just how infinite they truly are. At the end of the day, the fact that we have the courage to still be standing is reason enough to celebrate. Until we meet again next week, celebrate life in all its glory with happiness in your heart and prayer on your lips. See you next week.